Welcome back to Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka The Regulator. And here's a little something for you. You should make some noise for your muses right now, because as usual, the hits just keep coming on from your two prophets of doom. Though we have some disputes today over a certain list, we'll get to that later. Let me introduce my co host, though. He doesn't let ageism hold him back, as he says to those messy hens he messes with. Come on, get down with my sexagenarian vape. The mob goes wild whenever he comes to town. They know a public enemy is coming through. He tells everyone, don't play no game that I can't win, especially during March Madness. The music got himself, folks. CJ motherfucking Plane.
Bam! Hey guys.
We gotta get you one of those. We gotta get you one of those Farouk shirts where it's just damn. But
Yeah.
welcome back, everybody, to another episode with your musers, and we have a returning guest tonight. The only guest to see all three incarnations of this show with the different co-host. So it's an honor and privilege to bring back Joe from the I Don't Know with Joe podcast.
Hey, what's up? Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
And a Festivus for the rest of us.
And the Festivus for the rest of us, exactly.
Because I got some problems with you people, especially the middle list. But, fucking 2 out of 30, my fucking God.
Goddamn Seinfeld fans.
Yeah, I do not badmouth Seinfeld on this fucking podcast, I swear to God. So we had the whole nother thing. But we already have one thing today, it'll be two things. But folks, we're happy to be back. And I gotta ask Joe, tell the folks about what's new with your podcast, what's coming up with it.
All right. Well, podcast's been on a little hiatus past few months because I've had a busy personal life, but it will be coming back soon. I Don't Know Show with Joe. It's a show where I interview people about all sorts of topics, trying to learn, promote inquiring minds and openness, and just questioning things and trying to get to understandings and understand where people are coming from. So check it out. The I Don't Know Show with Joe, season 3 coming soon.
Have I actually been on your podcast yet? I don't think I have I?
Not yet, but we got to do it.
Dude, I could talk to you about some paranormal topics that'll blow your mind. So, yeah, definitely got to do it. But
oh, yeah, we'll set that up.
I got to come on the I Don't Know Show and talk music because everybody knows music to some degree. But actually, CJ could probably talk music to you about shit people don't know. I'm sure about that. So, but maybe when he's healed up. But folks, as you all know, the way this goes, Joe has brought us events sevenfold in the past, and who the hell did you bring the second time? I don't
Damian
remember.
Marley and Nas.
Right, you brought the Damian Marley. That was you, right?
That was
Actually,
me.
that comes up in my Spotify like list every once in a while. What's it?
What was it?
What the hell?
Distant relatives.
Yeah, distant relatives.
Oh, yeah, that's a banger.
I loved it. Jeremy hated
it. Not true. I didn't hate it outright.
Yeah,
there were songs I liked.
Yeah,
I'm just reggae. I love Nas to some degree, and reggae is just not fully my thing. It never has been. So as much as
I like reggae, bro, like
I
happy.
They all sound the same. They all sound the fucking same. But
oh no. All right,
I like reggae to some degree. I like island shit. I like Harry Belafonte. I like some Bob Marley stuff. I'm not a huge Bob Marley fan, but I like some of his stuff. But I like Cottonmouth Kings. That's as reggae as I get. I'm just not a reggae fan. But
reggae is another music that I adore and love. That most people would look at me with the long hair and the tattoos and assume I know nothing about, but I'm a massive fan of like Nadley Rise and Burning Spear and Junior Gong and so many. Conqueror and J-Boog is one that a lot of people, don't think about, but his songs are so disgustingly catchy that nice. No, yeah, again.
Okay, yeah. You think the combination on this show is fucking weird? The combination of CDs and on the show you brought on Nas and Damian Marley is so much weirder. I brought on one of DJ Clay's Book of the Wickeds, and Jamie brought on freaking Rob Zombie. Like that was one of the weirdest
That's
matchups we ever
true.
had.
That's true.
But
That is true.
I mean, in reality, Zombie's different, but he looks like he belongs in a reggae band.
That's true.
Actually, he looks like he's a juggalo in a reggae band. So actually, that kind of works. But yeah, Jamie brought Hellbilly too for that one. So yeah, I remember that one now. And yeah, and on your first episode, you brought the stage. Did I bring Heroin Diaries or did? Chancey.
Yeah, that one had Heroin Diaries and a Korn album, and that was all rock. So that all kind of fit together.
Did you meet Chancey? I'm feeling like that was a Jamie.
So that's what I'm.
I'm looking. Oh no, it was Jamie in that one too. Okay,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
So yeah, you got a double dose of Jamie. Nobody else has ever done that in this show. So
there you go.
you got a double dose of Jamie, and a double dose of Jamie will leave you feeling right. Come on now, but miss you, Jamie. If you ever actually hear this, but. Yeah, wow. So we had two fucking weird ass episodes, but this one makes a little more sense at least. But what album do you want to bring this time, Joe? Tell the folks at home.
I brought Blast Tyrant by Clutch.
And why did you want to bring this one? I'm not complaining. I'm just curious.
Well, I looked at the list and you didn't have any Clutch, and I love Clutch, and I felt like we needed some Clutch.
Oh yeah, the one person who hasn't been a co-host has the list of albums we brought in the show. I forgot I gave you access to that even. But
yeah, well, wanted to bring something different.
Well, all right, I'll go first this week since CJ's healing. I never have listened to the Clutch. I'm pretty sure I've heard the name before, but I never actually have given them I never actually looked up and been like, who is this Clutch? And I honestly was impressed. I'm like, how have I not heard this band? Like, they're fucking phenomenal. Like they blew me away. I mean, it's my kind of heavy metal. Well, heavy rock, I guess, is more the word.
Yeah.
But they kind of remind me of Head PE to a degree, and they kind of remind me of Rage Against the Machine. But
oh yeah,
they're in that genre, I guess. But that angry political rock.
It's stoner music. It's stoner rock.
Well, okay, well that's why
I kind of thought of them as like heavy country or hard blues, but they do cross over with that Rage Against the Machine, like that riff heavy political type. Yeah, for sure.
And the lyrics in their songs remind me of Head PE, and they are stoner rock, so that does remind me of Head PE. That reminds me of Head PE, and the lyrics remind me of Rage Against the Machine. Bleh. My mind's all jumble, but. And I enjoyed it. I easily found top 5. I actually added a lot more than that to my list on Spotify, and I actually followed the band on Spotify. I'm like, I gotta listen to the past albums and see what's going on here, because this is a road I have to go down. But I liked them. But see, there was something different about them I couldn't put my finger on, and that's what separated them from other bands that I compared them to, is they were slightly different. And I asked my buddy at work who knows music, because almost as much as the music got here, well, close at least. And he was like, of course I know who Clutch is. He's like, they're fucking old school. I'm like, all right, well,
been around for a while.
I'm like, they're new to me, god damn it. But it's I can't even explain it. They're just freaking. They were a fun time. I had a really fun time listening to the album, and I was banging my head along with it. Some of their lyrics were fucking hilarious, so that's always a big plus to me. And that the lyrics is Head PE. Like, that's just Head PE. That's just Head PE. Some of the lyrics too. I don't know. I guess they're common. I guess it's like if Head PE met Rage Against the Machine and they became one band, which never could happen in the world. But stranger things. But CJ, let's hear what you think of Clutch.
I know who Clutch is. I've actually seen them live a couple of times. Really great live band.
Yes.
But all that being said, Clutch is one of those bands that I get people hype them up. I get people love them. They're well respected. Neil's a super nice guy with everything that he does. A lot of charity work with Christmas and all of that. They're just one of those bands I've never gotten the hype of. I'm I'm not a fan of the genre or the band themselves. I'm not a fan of Clutch, Queens of the Stone Age,
Mm.
Kais, none of those bands. It's just kind of noise to me. That sort of droning, you know, riffs. There's a whole that whole genre of like stoner rock, desert rock, whatever you want to throw them in. It just it kind of does. I don't connect with it, so I don't hate them. I mean, they're not like the worst band I've heard, but they're also not something I'm ever gonna just put on. um, and it is what it is. Like I know there's bands that I love that people don't connect to, and it's again, I don't mean it. I'm not saying any of this to be disrespectful. They are a very, very good live band. They put on a very good live show. And like I said, I've got to meet Neil. Neil's a super nice guy.
How'd you meet
It's
him?
just not my. So I am very good friends with the guy that owns the machine shop, and Kevin and Neil are kind of like this. When Clutch gears up to go on tour, they do their practice stuff at the machine shop.
Ah,
So I was at the machine shop for one of the shows. I think one of the shows, I don't remember if Corrosion was opening for them or they were opening for Corrosion.
Uh,
Um,
Corrosion of Conformity.
mhm.
They're,
And
they
I went
actually are
to
going.
see,
They're going to be
I
in
went
Worcester,
to see
Massachusetts
Corrosion.
in April with Corrosion of Conformity. That's kind of funny.
Do what?
They're going to
Clutches?
be. They're going to be. Clutch is going to be in a show in Worcester in April with Corrosion of
Well, they're
Conformity.
good friends.
Yeah.
That's right. Clutch did just announce a tour, didn't they?
Yeah. So I think we went to see Corrosion because I'm a massive Corrosion fan. Which probably seems weird since Corrosion is kind of similar to Clutch, but I don't know. It just not my thing personally. I yeah. Well, go ahead. That's kind of where I'm going to leave it because
Yeah, we try and talk stuff about that one all day. But
Hmm.
what would you say your top 5 tracks off the album, Joe? Because I'm curious.
Yeah. So, um, about the album, I didn't know which album to choose. I didn't listen to too many of their albums. I knew a bunch of their songs, mostly their singles, and they have 13 albums.
Oh, it's a huge list. I looked at how many albums they have. It's a
Yeah.
huge list.
And I've only listened to 3 or 4 of them, and this was one of them. And I think it's considered by people who do like Clutch to be their best album, so that's why I chose it. But yeah, and also just to touch on what you said about the lyrics, they are hilarious, but I don't know what he's talking about in most of the songs. But yeah, with that being said, I've got an honorable mention that I was debating putting on my top 5, and that was Ghost. I just thought it was a very well composed song with a really catchy, great tune. Number 5, I said Army of Bono. I thought that was a fun song with a catchy chorus. And again, I've no idea what it's about. I guess it's something somehow making fun of celebrity activism and virtue signaling, but I don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, any song that makes fun of Bono makes my heart smile. So yeah.
Number 4, I said The Swollen Goat. It just had a really sick riff. Again, another catchy, fun song that I have no idea what the fuck it's about, but it's just a really fun song. Number 3, I said The Mob Goes Wild. I think this was their big hit, the one that kind of put them on the map for a lot of people. It's a really catchy song, good riffs and vocals, a lot of energy. Criticizes the government, which of course I love, and just a really fun song. Number 2 for me was The Regulator, which is another hit of theirs. Just awesome instrumentals, good vocals, more kind of singing on this one than the yelling that's on a lot of their songs. Really catchy. I think he's murdering his ex or something, but it's kind of like obscure. It's like a little bit like poetic. It's kind of like Edgar Allan Poe reminds me of, with like the pendulum and stuff. There's a bunch of Poe references in that one. And then number 1, I said Cypress Grove. Just a really catchy and kind of bluesy song. Again, a lot of random references that I don't know what he's talking about. It's almost like a postmodern literature.
I didn't put it on my list, but I'm pretty sure Cypress Grove is kind of a hint on Bohemian Grove.
That's what I thought, but I was looking it up, and apparently there's like a witch coven or something in California or called Cypress Grove, but I didn't know what the whole song was about. I think originally I also thought it was talking about Bohemian Grove. So that was my initial thought too.
That actually would make sense. And now, and as a paranormal podcast, I have to go look into that. But because I love me some witches, but burying them, talking about them, I love witches all around. But yeah, I got 5. I got top 5 off this one. No honorable mentions, but I mean, I liked a lot of them. But I was trying to keep it straight line today with these. But my number 5 was Prophets of Doom. That's a fun song about like capitalism, and I freaking loved it. My number 4 was Promoter of Earthbound Causes, which is kind of like the Bono song in a way, but I like the freaking breakdowns and the lyrics in it. It was really fun. My number 3 was Subtle Hustle, which was just a fun ass song.
Yeah.
My number 2 was The Mob Goes Wild, because everyone moved to Canada and smoked lots of pot.
Yeah.
that shit
Everybody moves to Canada right now.
Yeah. Someone needs to do an AI mashup of that and fuck Canada from South Park.
Yeah.
Be hilarious. And my number 1 was The Regulator, because that song was the highlight of the album. That song, the lyrics are fun as hell. The way he delivers the lyrics is amazing. I mean, he reminds me of Head PE, like Jared Gomes, what the hell his name is. The way he delivers the lyrics, like it reminds me so much of him. I think it's why I could dig it so fast, because I did a whole deep dive to Head PE like fucking 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. And I like Head PE to some degree. They're not one of my favorite bands, but I like them because they're Cottonmouth King adjacent. But and I mean, I like political, anti-political rock to some degree. It gets tiresome after a while, but it's fun at first until you get to like, all right, we get it. You hate the government. Okay, move on. Sing about something else, please. Sing about getting laid. Sing about fucking finding your love. Sing something else. But yeah, I mean, overall, good fucking album. I can't complain. I mean, you kind of made me like Avenged Sevenfold a little more with the stage, but it's better than Avenged Sevenfold by far. And actually, I like 3 people and that brought Avenged Sevenfold in the show, maybe like them more. So yeah, I apparently misjudged them for years, but definitely liked it better than Damian Marley and Nas. I will say that. Definitely liked it better than that. But CJ, did you have a top anything?
I didn't get around to making any top lists for these 3 because I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to talk. So, no, I don't have a top list for any of these.
Well, I guess in that case, we can move on to the album I decided to bring this week, which I mean, I didn't know who the fuck to match the clutch with. I'm gonna tell you that right the hell now. I'm just like, actually, Head PE crossed my mind immediately, but I'm like, I don't like Head PE enough to want to listen to one of their albums in full. So I'm like, I don't want to bring that. But I saw the year it came out, and I had like 3 or 4 different tabs on my computer at work open, like looking at different albums that came out that year. And I'm like, oh, I got a lot of good choices that year. Well, decent choices at least. But one stuck out to me, and ever since my faithful co-host here brought on an album by a band called The Coop, there's been one album that's been stuck in my head for a while, and I'm like, that came out in 2011, and I'm like, it's finally time to bring this album on and do it some justice because there's only been one other album by this band that guys got brought on, and it sounds nothing like this album. So I'm like, fuck it, let's. I'm gonna unleash it. I'm gonna unleash Beastie Boys' Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. I mean, one, because I love fucking hot sauce. I live by hot sauce. Literally, I have a desk. I always have a desk. A bottle of hot sauce on my desk at work for whatever I'm eating for lunch that day. And what can I say? Except, I mean, ever since I heard the Coops album with Guillotine on it, like Guillotine makes me think of Beastie Boys' Hot Sauce Committee Part 2 because it's just they have very similar sounds and music. Lyrics are and singing style are completely different, but it has very similar music. So I was like, all right, you know what? I haven't listened to Hot Sauce Committee Part 2 since like fucking college, and I'm like, I got to deep dive back into this album, and I'm like, fuck it. I I didn't regret my choice to listen to it today. I really didn't. I kind of thought, I'm like, damn, this doesn't slam as hard when you're not stoned out of your mind in college, but it doesn't slap as hard. But I'm like, it's still Beastie Boys. The flow and the freaking lyrics are still beyond belief good because it's Beastie Boys. But it just the whole album didn't come together the way it used to for me. So, but I also used to blast it in the car at like max volume going into college. So, and when it first came out, it was like the most amazing thing I ever heard. And I think I only bought this album at FYE because it was Beastie Boys, and I saw they released a new album for the first time in like God knows how long. So, nope, didn't know it was gonna be their last album, but shit happens. R.I.P. buddy. But it is what it is. It's the last album Beastie Boys ever did, and it definitely earned its place among the top albums. Someone brought Illmatic on the show at one point. I think this album's way better than Illmatic, in my opinion. But there's other albums they did that are better than this one. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I mean, I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's roll with the Beastie Boys. They haven't been on the show in a good couple of years, so I'm like, they deserve another appearance. But Joe, what you think when you got told you were going to listen to Beastie Boys?
Well, Beastie Boys are always a fun time. Never heard this album or any of the songs on it.
Really?
I don't think so, unless potentially Make Some Noise, if that was a hit. I'm not sure. It did sound familiar. But
the music video they released for that song has more famous celebrity cameos than any music video in history.
Really?
Like, literally, like the video is supposed to take place literally after them leaving the party from the video and Fight for Your Right, and Seth Rogen, Elijah Wood, and the guy from Pineapple Express and the guy from Eastbound Down. Plays the third one. I forget his fucking name always.
Franco, James Franco.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. Yeah, Danny McBride. That's it. The three of them play like the Beastie Boys, and it's them rapping the song throughout the whole video. And Steve Buscemi's in the video. Freaking Ted Danson. So many female actresses I can't think of the names of at this point. There's Will Ferrell's in it at one point with Cowbell, which makes it even more funny. But like it's the video. I watched the video again today because I haven't seen it in like a decade, and it's such a funny ass video that like I think all these people they probably met over their time in Hollywood and whatnot, and they all knew that what's his name was dying. So I think they all wanted to like do a favor and make the last like thing amazing. So
gotcha.
The video, if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's just fucking it's a fun like 3 minutes to watch it. But and I mean the end of the video is fucking awesome because like it's like past Beastie Boys meet present Beastie Boys. But it's a fun ass video. So I mean and Make Some Noise was the main Make Some Noise, and then the song Too Many Rappers with Nas for like the 2 singles off it. So if you heard any song off it back then, just on random, it would have been those 2. But
gotcha. Yeah. Well, it was definitely fun overall. I think a lot of the songs had a good beat, good flow. Was definitely bop in my head, but if I were to put on a Beastie Boys album, it would probably be a different one. uh,
Ah,
I like some of their other work better. Um, I did find 5 songs to put it in my top 5, but there were a bunch of songs that I wasn't feeling, and I also felt like the album wasn't very cohesive. It was kind of all over the place.
well, I think they were rushing it. Well,
Yeah,
there was supposed to be an album called Hot Sauce Committee Part One. They never
right,
did, and they took the tracks from that they had made, and they put it on this album with some extra
right.
tracks. So that's why it's not cohesive. It's because of that, and I,
Makes
and
sense.
and they knew he was sick, and they knew it wasn't going to be long, so they were trying to get this last album out for the fans before he passed, because they knew the other two knew once he was gone, they were not going to do any more Beastie Boy work. Like, it was done.
Yeah,
Which they for the last what fucking 14 years they've stuck true to that. They released an autobiography. They released a book. They released a freaking documentary off the book, but they have not really touched music because they don't want to dishonor him. So, which I get, but I'm also at the same time like, become another name. Like, the two of you just become uh Ad Rock and whoever, and just fucking go with it. Like,
yeah,
just. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to hear them do more nowadays. I mean, if they're even willing to. But I mean, I would love to hear more putting it out there in the universe. I'd love to hear you guys do more these days. And I like the style. It's kind of like how Korn did with Path to Totality, where they wanted to try like a different style for music, and
yeah,
they hit up like Skrillex and every other EDM
yeah,
artist at the time, and was like, let's do an album with you guys all featuring different songs. And in my opinion, it works. Which actually, I almost brought Path to Totality on this fucking episode, so you're gonna get the same kind of thing in one way or another. But
yeah. I like when
um,
people try different things.
I mean, that's one of my favorite Korn albums. It really
Yeah,
is, just because it's that EDM background with them singing with Jonathan Davis singing is so fucking perfect.
yeah,
Like, it works. So that's why I like this too, though, because like them with the electronics really fucking works. Like, it's meant for them almost.
yeah.
But CJ, what do you think of this Beastie Boys album, or Beastie Boys in general? I don't think we ever talked about them.
When License to Ill came out, obviously kind of shook the world because it was
Mm.
the first record to really merge rap and rock in that style. Run DMC had done it a little bit, but not on that scale.
And so did the artists you brought today. I'm just saying they did a little bit too before this time.
I was a huge fan of that first record. Sadly, I had an idiot goddamn roommate in college who was obsessed with the Beastie Boys, who completely ruined them for me.
Just overplay.
Just Paul wanted to be fucking MCA. So he dressed like MCA. He tried to talk like MCA. He wanted to be a rapper like MCA. He was like, you, and it was like, bitch, you're from Carroll, Michigan. Shut the fuck up. You were a white goddamn farm boy. You are not from Brooklyn. Stop, bro. You look and sound fucking ridiculous. So we finished the first year of college. I thought, God, I can finally get away from this dumb motherfucker. Got a job at Cedar Point. Moved into my dorm at Cedar Point. I'll be a son of a bitch if he didn't get hired and move into the room across from me. It was like, I can't get rid of this motherfucker for any goddamn thing. And that whole summer, it was right after Paul's Boutique had come out. And it was just like, if I hear that fucking record one more goddamn time, I am going to beat this motherfucker to death with a vinyl version of this goddamn record. Like, I just, it was just like, after that, I just never wanted to hear them again. I respect what they do, what they did. The thing about this record is, this was a good record in theory. The ideas behind it are solid. The phase style vocals are fucking annoying.
Hmm.
You know, where he raps and it sounds like he's rapping to a phaser. That's annoying as fuck. And it ruins it for me for this. It was the same with like Intergalactic. That whole Intergalactic song was the same thing.
I love that song.
That's my favorite Beastie Boys song, goddammit.
Same
That's my
here.
favorite Beastie Boys
It's
song.
annoying. Like this, I don't know. Like Beasties are one of them bands, man, that I have a love-hate with. Like
There's a lot of bands CJ has that with, but yeah.
They're one of them bands where I rarely say, yeah, that song's okay. Either the song is really fucking great, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Let Me Clear My Throat. You know, songs like that are fucking phenomenal. They're fun. They have that bombastic style. But then there's other songs I hear them and I'm just like,
I mean,
yeah, that could be banished to the depths of hell, and I wouldn't be mad at all.
I actually get that because I can't listen to every Beastie Boys album like all the way through and be happy. Like it's just not the way it works. I like certain songs, which I'll get to my top.
Let me put it this way: I am a massive disciple of Rick Rubin. So, in and of that, I respect the Beastie Boys a lot for their work with Rick, what they brought to the game, how they opened it up to other artists. That
White rappers exclusively, yeah.
I won't say white rappers exclusively because, look, with or without Eminem, with or without the Beastie Boys, you still had Third Base. You still had MC Nice. You still had other white rappers that were going to be there. Everlast had already established himself on the West Coast with LA or with Ice-T and the Syndicate before, House of Pain. He had a record called I Got the Knack, which you heard that, phenomenal. So white rap was always going to be a thing. It was simply a matter of who was going to be in the right place at the right time. And, who was going to break the sound barrier with it.
Not ICP, but yes.
Broke the sound barrier with it. The Beasties went exactly where they needed to go. Instead of trying to be a white kid imitating a black guy, instead of whatnot, the Beasties went big, bold, bombastic, and ridiculous. And every white person, whether you were Jewish or not, whether you were raised on a farm or raised in the hood, when you heard Fight for Your Right to Party, when you heard No Sleep Till Brooklyn, you could not sing along with that. You could not just blast the shit out of that.
I mean, as a New Yorker, naturally, an Up There to NYC is one of the anthems from when we grew up in New York in that age.
But that's what I'm saying. So I got a lot of respect for the Beastie Boys. I don't like everything they've done, but in and of itself, they've done enough to. I'll listen to them, but I have a Beastie Boys playlist, but it's the songs I've selected. Like there's 2 or 3 from every record that comprise the total playlist. So it's kind of like the music god's greatest hits of the Beastie Boys. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. I mean, that's kind of the same way I feel about them. I don't love them as much as I love ICP or other rappers, but to
me, they're either really, really good or it's just a total miss. Normally,
so I will say, how dare you with Intergalactic? Because when that song was on, when they put that song in Futurama, when they had the Beastie Boys in Futurama, it made my day.
Musically, and again, theme-wise and stylistically, it's a good song. The beat is good. The song is good. It's just the vocals, that singing through like the phaser thing. It's just annoying to me. It's like auto-tune, though. It's like with T-Pain. If you ever heard T-Pain sing, he's a hell of a goddamn singer. And same with Post Malone. So if you're that good of a goddamn singer, why would you distort your voice behind auto-tune? Like, there are people who would kill to be able to sing like you, and you're fucking your voice up with this dumbass robot voice. And there's no need to, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, I hate new rap because of that shit. But
You know. Meanwhile, Yoko Ono's still out here releasing goddamn singles.
Really?
And this bitch couldn't hit a fucking proper note if it kicked her in her vagina, you know?
I had shit to say about her when we got to Happy Xmas War is over during the Christmas song bracket we just did. But Yoko Ono, I don't get it. The reel of Chuck Berry's face when Yoko Ono's singing during one of the tracks is the fucking funniest thing in the world. But it's I had one honorable mention for this album, and that's Here's a Little Something for You, because that reminded me of old school Beastie Boys. It's check to check it out. It's all the old Beastie Boys I grew up with. That's what Here's a Little Something for You reminds me of. My number 5 was Don't Play No Game I Can't Win, because I love them and Santa Gold together. I think they did a really good combo on that one.
That's a great song. That reggae style with that, what they did on that song.
Yeah, that kind of reggae I like. I like that type of reggae style. My number 4 is Long Burn the Fire, because it's a really good flow throughout the whole song. My number 3 is Okay, because that's another like old school Beastie Boy track in my mind. Same with number 2, Say It. Like the way they deliver the chorus of "Say It," like it's just like that's old school fucking 90s Beastie Boy shit right there. And I fucked up earlier. I said that someone brought Beastie Boys Illmatic on the show. That's not I'm thinking of. Somebody brought License to Ill. That was the right one. That's the right album.
Makes sense.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, oh, I knew Ill was in it, but I fucking fucked up the name because I was looking.
You said this album was better than Illmatic. I said, well, that is a hot take.
No. It's better than License. It's a little bit better than License to Ill.
This is the king of hot takes over here.
Well, we know that, and my number 1 has to be Make Some Noise, because it's such a great album opener, and even the fucking like electronics, the way they open up like that, like it's just fucking perfect. Like I love the way that opens, and like I said before, when I was talking about the music video is fucking phenomenally fucking good. I am a sucker for a good music video. Lord of the Lost has been putting out the best music videos lately for me. But that Beastie Boys video is, and most rap music videos are just fucking a rapper like rapping on the street somewhere. They're not. Most rap videos are not amazing. This one just blows you away because it tells a story, and it's perfect because they pick it up from the beginning of their career to the end of it. So it's like a perfect like ending to like the beginning of their career. But so I mean, I'm happy I brought Sam on finally. I'm happy I finally got a chance to fucking. It had to come on the show eventually, and I'm happy I got it out. It'd probably be the only Beast Boy album I actually would ever fucking bring. But I made to bring them on the Intergalactic now just to fuck with CJ. But actually, wait a minute, is that licensed still? I don't think it is. But okay, no, I didn't think so. But well, what were your top 5 there, Joe?
Let's see. Number 5, I said Long Burn the Fire. I thought it was good flow, specifically Ad Rock's verses I thought were great. Number 4, I said Okay. That was like a real head bopper. Couldn't help myself head bopping to that one. Number 3, I said Make Some Noise. That just felt like a fun, classic Beastie Boys song. Number 2, I said Lee Majors Come Again.
It's a good song, yeah.
It was awesome. Just nonstop energy. I feel like you could mosh to that song. I don't. The drums kind of sound like Travis Barker. If you know that album he did with Yellow Wolf, like that. That's what that song reminded me of, and you could totally mosh to that song. Just nonstop energy. And then number 1, I said Too Many Rappers. It was a cool collab with Nas, I thought. Only thing is the beat is really noisy and weird, and I could see myself getting sick of that very quickly. But just in the few listens I did for this, I enjoyed it. But probably listen to it more, probably get sick of it.
See, that's why it was on my list, because I think I got heard it and I'm like, I used to love this song. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's so noisy.
But see, on this album they had the new Reactionaries version. That's not the version that was on the original like physical CD.
I was wondering what that meant with the version.
You might be able to find the real version on like YouTube or something. I don't know, but that's not the version that was on the original CD, because the original version is so much better. Like I don't know what the fuck went on with that. I really, and there's an alternate version of the album on Spotify too, but it's just a clean version. So I'm like, it's the same song. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm like, whatever the hell's the other version that was actually good? Like it pissed me off to a degree today. But yeah, I mean, I used to blast this shit in college when it first came out. It was new and it was amazing. Now I guess it's just after maybe getting older, I just don't appreciate it as much. But it was just something unheard of back then for Beastie Boys. But CJ, I'm assuming you have no top of any kind on this one, or nah?
I don't even have one for mine, dude. I wasn't, like I said, I listened to them, but I wasn't. My mouth was so numb, I was having a hard time speaking. And it's actually gone down quite a bit. So I was like, I'm not going to make these lists, because I was, when I was trying to talk, I was like, blah, 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 blah. he put like 7 shots of Novocaine around the upper part of my lip. So like my whole face was like puffed out and shit. So
yeah,
I looked like Logan Paul probably felt. So
yeah, I've had teeth pulled, so I fucking get it. Trust me, it hurts for a couple days for that talking and shit. But especially certain areas. But well, DJ, what album did you want to bring this week? Let's finish off this show with the third album. I saved this one for last for reasons, but you'll find out whether they're good or bad.
So every year I do 6 lists, best of 20, whatever. I do the country Americana, I do hip hop. There's a modern rock, there's a rock, there's a metal, and there's a hard rock. When I put out the hip hop list, this was my number 2 for the year for hip hop. It is the new Public Enemy record. It is called Black Sky Over the Projects Apartment 2025. Public Enemy is a band that I learned of in college, never heard of them. I had a roommate my other roommate was this black dude, and he had this Toyota truck, and it had the old school Alpine with the equalizer. And he come in one day and he goes, "Let's go get something to eat." I said, "Okay." So we got out to his truck and he goes, "What do you know about Public Enemy?" Not a thing. He goes, "Oh, you gonna learn today." Okay, cool. And first song he played was 911 was a joke. 911 is a joke. And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." I'd never heard anything like Public Enemy before, like I'd heard hip hop, but not like angry, just in your face shit. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like this was, this was like furious and angry and had a point, man. And Chuck was gonna make goddamn sure you listen to his point, right? So all that said, Public Enemy been kind of hit or miss over the years. There's been some really good records. There's been a few records that are This one came out, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is a great record" for 2 reasons. One, it's very rock oriented musically in a lot of places. And 2, Flav is a lot more involved on this one than he normally is.
I noticed that. I was like, "Holy shit!"
I brought that up earlier this year when you asked what I meant. I said, when you hear the record, you'll understand. Normally, Flav is just a hype guy.
Yeah,
but he's got like whole ass bars and verses on this one that are like, damn, Flav can rap.
I picked up on that right away. I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like,
yeah. So
usually he's just keeping time.
Yeah. It's just in the background.
But on this one, like he's
involved
boy. In it, man. But anyways, this was my number 2 of the year. Only the A$AP Rock record to me was better in hip hop.
Aesop Rock had a new album out this year too.
Yeah, called the Black Rock Supret.
Oh,
It's if you know anything about Aesop Rock,
I haven't heard of them in a long
number
time,
one.
but yeah.
Yeah, if you know anything about Aesop Rock, you understand why his is number one, because he's, other than maybe R.A. the Rugged Man, he's kind of untouched when it comes to white rappers. But anyways, this was my number two for all of the reasons that we will discuss here, I'm sure, because I have a feeling that, yeah. So, what do you guys?
Yeah, Joe, what'd you think of this Public Enemy album?
Well, hey, and I know a couple Public Enemy songs, but I never listened to full album. And I actually couldn't believe they came out with an album in 2025. So that was a nice surprise. Overall, great sound. Kind of brought me back. Like it still had that old school vibe for sure. I liked some songs better than others. There were two songs I think that I actually really didn't like, but other than that, I enjoyed the album.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of following that sentiment because when he sent me Public Enemy, I was like, "Are we doing 1980? Like, what the fuck?" I was like, "Are we back 20 years? I don't realize it." It was on name.
They've actually put about 7 records out over the past decade.
I saw that, and I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so Public Enemy was already a thing long before I knew what rap was even, and I was watching VH1 one day when I was a teenager, and they were going through like the greatest like metal tracks of all time, or like one of those countdown shits. And Bring the Noise came up with.
Again, Mark is the incredible rhyme animal, the incredible.
Exactly. That was on the Tony Hawk soundtrack. I actually discovered them through Tony Hawk.
Actually,
that's the one song. I have such a hard time remembering lyrics, but that's the one song. That and The Devil Went Down to Georgia, man. It's just the cadence of those songs. It's just, they stick in your brain, man, and I've never forgotten.
But yeah, I mean, on that countdown, I saw a video of them performing live with Anthrax, Bring the Noise, and and at that was right around the time that Flavor Flav was on Surreal Life on VH1 as well. So I knew who Flavor Flav was. I didn't know anything about Public Enemy. I knew who Flavor Flav was because of his reality TV skits back then, and him ending up in Flavor of Love with Bridget Nielsen and everything. Like, that was one of the greatest things ever. But it's still to this day makes me laugh that he got Bridget Nielsen and he got to hit that. But I never actually looked into Public Enemy. I mean, I downloaded some songs on LimeWire back in the day when I first heard about them, and I got 911 as a Joke and a couple other songs, because 911 as a Joke was a fucking amazing song. But yeah, I mean, this album kind of blew me away. When I saw Public Enemy, I was like, I don't know whether I'm going to hate or love this. I do not. I'm kind of, before I listen to it, I'm so stuck in the middle of how this is going to go. I'm like, this is either going to be an old rap group that's trying to seem relevant and they're sucking at it, or this is going to be one of the best things I've heard in a long time. And it went more towards the latter. That's for damn sure. Like, I was like, oh my God, like they still, I'm like, Chuck D still has it. I'm like, and then Flavor Flav rapping blew me the fuck away. I'm like, he can rap? Who the fuck knew?
He actually plays 13 instruments. A lot of people don't realize that, but Flav
does?
Flavor Flav's like basically a prince? Who the fuck knew that?
What? He plays 13 instruments and is trained to compose classical music.
I knew that.
Flavor's a lot smarter than motherfuckers think he is. Like, Flavor plays the clown, but he is actually incredibly musically talented.
I was going to say, because he was on reality TV for so long fucking playing a clown, like everybody just assumed he was. But
I never saw him on reality TV. I just see how
Juilliard.
What? I'm learning a lot today.
Hold on.
He knows 15 instruments.
13, but still, that's Prince level.
According to AI, it says 15.
Maybe it's 15.
That's nuts.
I mean, he's a Prince level,
restaurant owner.
I knew that. Yeah.
Children.
Oh, he's from Roosevelt and Freeport. Oh, I didn't grow up far from there.
That's insane. The fact that he's at Prince level almost with instruments is just fucking insane.
Oh, he's
And
cousins with Old Dirty Bastard, RZA, and Jizza.
I
Yeah,
knew that. I knew that part. Yeah.
He plays piano, drums, and guitar.
he played them at an
That's-
early age.
It says he's
Proficient.
proficient at 15 instruments. Like, he doesn't just fuck around. It says he's proficient. At
I mean,
15.
Attended culinary school.
Oh my
I,
god.
yep, I knew that part.
And attended Adelphi University, which is a music school.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of Delphi, but he
a lot of people think Flavor's just this big clown. The motherfucker's incredibly smart. He's a restaurant owner, all of that shit.
I was gonna say, I know he can cook because I saw him on a celebrity cooking show and he actually knew what the fuck he was doing. So
yeah,
I knew he could cook, but I did not know that he was like basically a Prince level instrument player. Like that's insane.
Mm.
But why, dude? Your career could have been so much better than it was. Oh my god, you could have been a solo artist for God's sake at that point.
I got news for you. I'll bet your Flavors made a bunch of goddamn.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure. But between all the reality TV and all the fucking Public Enemy stuff, I'm sure he's rich as shit. But if he didn't blow it like a lot of like MC Hammer style, but I'm sure he's rich as shit. But I mean, I enjoyed the album immensely. I actually followed Public Enemy on Spotify for the first time ever, and I actually want to go back and listen to all the other albums they've done and see like which other ones are as good as this one because it blew me away. It blew me away that they were still doing it this good. And I saw it on your rap list too, but I didn't even think twice about it when you brought it up. I'm like, I didn't remember where it was because your rap list like had like no albums I really knew on it besides like ones you brought like Locksmith. So like I didn't know any of them except for the ones you already brought in the show. So because this year wasn't I don't know. I've been getting out of rap lately. I haven't been listening to rap as much except for the ones I've known and loved for years. I don't get into rap really.
I want to bring the NEMS one on. I'm waiting for the right time to bring the NEMS one on just because I don't know
Which
if you've
one?
ever listened to him. NEMS.
I don't.
Eminem? Is that short for Eminem?
No, it's NEMS. He's the one who created the whole Bing Bong thing. And NEMS. So NEMS is the ultimate shit talker. Okay, like this dude talks more shit than any motherfucker you ever meet. And they asked him about it the one day, like, aren't you scared somebody's going to do something with all of the shit that you talk? You know what NEMS' response was? I'm a 6'5", 400-pound Puerto Rican Irish dude. Come at me if you want. So NEMS, he just doesn't give a shit, bro. Like he's like he is. If Andrew Dice Clay was a Puerto Rican rapper, that's NEMS basically.
Andrew Dice Clay is a rapper that I would actually pay to see. But
I saw Andrew Dice Clay open for Guns N' Roses.
Well,
that was back in the day.
That was a year ago.
Oh, it was a year ago.
Or 2 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Well, I'll tell you, CJ. There's a guest coming on in February that you might be able to bring that for.
Okay.
I'll make sure. I'll try to remember to tell you then too. But yeah. I know. Okay, I know CJ doesn't have a top 5 for this one, but Joe, what were your top 5 songs for Public Enemy?
All right. Number 5, I said Public Enemy Coming Through. Thought that was pretty good. Number 4, I said Evil Way.
That's a great song.
Actually, the sample kind of sounded like Clutch or Rage Against the Machine. Like it had that kind of.
I was gonna say it has that almost Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Like Rage type of.
Number 3, I said The Hits Keep On Coming. That had great energy, fun song. Number 2, I said Fools, Fools, Fools. That one had really good lyrics. Excellent lyrics on that one. And number 1, I said Confusion. That was a major head bopper. Great beat, great energy. Really enjoyed that one.
Actually, funny enough, Fools, Fools, Fools is the one song I didn't put in my like list, I think. But
the ones I didn't like were Sick and What I Said.
I wasn't a huge fan of either. Those are on my not on my list at least. I might put them on the actual fucking like list, but I don't remember. A lot of them got put on there, but I had the most songs for this album actually. That's the scary part. I had two honorable mentions. Public Enemy Coming Through was my first honorable mention because it was a fun fucking song. I knew it would be when I saw the title. I knew it would be a fun song. And then Sexagenarian Vape was a fun fucking song. There was so much commentary on the world today in that song. It was fucking hilarious. But my number five, which I'm about to go tell Andy from Don't Be Caged by Your Age that we had in the show that this should be her fucking theme song. Ageism was my number five. That's a fucking good ass song. My number four was Come On Get Down. That was a real fucking banger. I was like banging my head along with that shit. Number three, the hits keep on coming because of Flavor Flav's fucking verse in that. Oh my god. And my number two was March Madness, which I thought was gonna be about basketball. So I didn't think I was gonna like it, but the fact that they actually like were touching on school shootings and shit like that, like that's my kind of rap. Like rap that talks about shit like that. And I mean, it's no Team Death playing Columbine, but it's fucking right there with like bringing like that shit to the front and center. My number one though, you didn't mention Joe, and I was kind of surprised, but my number one was Messy Hens because the flow is so fucking incredible throughout that.
It's not about Messy Hens.
The flow is so incredible through that whole song. I was like, oh my god, this is the best song on the album, 100%. Like I fucking love that song. I'm still amazed that Flavor Flav can rap. Like everything we learned about Flavor Flav tonight is like fuck. Like who knew? Who knew Flavor Flav had depth? Who the fuck knew? I thought he was right up there with just like all the gimmicks of the world. But I mean, I knew he had some depth because I knew about the cooking shit. But I mean, a lot of people can cook. That doesn't mean shit. So I mean, I can cook for God's sake, or at least I used to be able to before when I lived by myself with no wife. But now I'm not allowed in the kitchen, so it is what it is. My skills probably degraded a little bit, but I mean, Public Enemy blew me away. I never thought I would say that in this show. Never thought I would say that in this show, but they blew me away. So it makes up for what you brought last week.
Yeah, it's.
But
no, I really like this record. I mean, it was a record that when it came out this year, I didn't have high expectations for it because, like Chuck said in the one record, he's 67 and blind in one eye. So Chuck is kind of
on his way out.
Leaning into retirement a little more these days. But, for a guy that's 67 and blind in one eye, Chuck can still hold his own, man. Like,
Yep.
I wonder if they could pull it off live, though. I've seen some of these old rappers, and
they've been touring and all of that, and been doing shows. I mean, they've been really consistent, man.
I mean, I saw Coolio right before he died, and he was horrible.
Yeah, the rap shows are really hit or miss. I saw Clips a few years ago, and they were awesome. That you guys know the Clips, or not the Clips, just Clips, right?
I never heard of them.
They had some bangers. They're another old school duo, but they put on a really good show. Surprisingly,
I mean, I think actually I saw Coolio and Vanilla Ice in the same night, the same show, and it's scary because Vanilla Ice was the better performer. But I never thought I would see that day coming. But Coolio just brought out his son and let his son do all the rapping, and his son sucks. So, but he was trying to boost his son as a rapper, and I was like, no, don't let him rap Gangsta's Paradise. You better fucking do the verses. And nope, he did exactly what they want him to do. So it is what it is. But R.I.P. Coolio, I fucking loved you, but you kind of let me down with that '90s throwback show. You really fucking did. But it is what it is. And fucking CNC Music Factory did a better job than him, and they only had one other person from the fucking actual band. But that's saying something. That's fucking saying something. But folks, we brought you your albums thrice for tonight, and boy howdy, do we have an interesting show next week. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not going to give away in the bands, but it's an interesting show nonetheless. And the guest is I'm interested to see the guest because the guest has a site that I'm curious about, and I'm dying to learn more. So come back next week to see that. But Joe, where can they find you when you come back from your hiatus?
You can find me wherever you get your podcasts. The I Don't Know Show with Joe. Coming back soon. The I Don't Know Show with Joe. Also on X, Joe I Don't Know.
And that's the only places you can find them. Trust me, I've tried. But it's hard to tag motherfucker doesn't have Facebook. But I tag him on X. That's all. And he doesn't have Instagram either. So it's like shit. But CJ, where can they find you?
The website is musicgodcjplane.rocks, ROCKS. You'll find me doing the list now. We're going to start putting a lot more content on there. I slacked off this year a lot, but lot coming. A lot more music reactions are coming. The books are being finalized. Those will be coming this year. Just look up Music God CJ Plane, Bocce Book, Instagram, TikToker, all that. You'll find my ugly mug.
And yes, when that one book comes out, you definitely should go on Joe's show when that one book comes out, because that'd be a book you can talk about on his show.
Hell yeah.
Yes. All men are cremated equal.
I didn't mean, not the one I meant. But
Good line.
Not the book.
You're not talking about the horror comedy horror. You're talking about the hair metal book.
Yeah, because that's something that's stuff that people don't know about.
That's woulda, shoulda, coulda. All the bands from the hair metal era that should have, would have, and could have been huge if not for
Nirvana. But yes,
not to do with Nirvana. It was record company malfeasance, shitty fans, poor promotion. All the standard things that bands that fall between the cracks suffer.
Yep. Well, folks, you can find both your musers on Facebook as Squatchy Largefoot, which coming soon on Facebook in the next week or so. I might have to put up a list of my own to counteract somebody's fucking choices and lists. But it ain't gonna be no fucking genre breakdown. I don't do that shit. But I may have to come up with a top something list. I'll work on it. I got some albums that need to be fucking advertised. But and hopefully we can get some of those bands on the show. That'd be great. But you can also find us on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard. And of course, the best place always is YouTube. Maniacal Music Musings. Everything we ever done is on YouTube. Hell, that's how I looked up what albums Joe brought in his last episode, is by going to YouTube and typing in his name. So, because that's where that's a history of Maniacal Music Musings is on YouTube. So, see me at my worst, see me at my best. It's all there. And come back next week for another fun episode, and come back a week from Saturday for the new the beginning of the new year. We are starting a new 6-part bracket picked by everybody's favorite male stripper, Dean. And he decided to pick the top cartoon theme songs of all time. 202 cartoon theme songs to break down. Which, I'm looking forward to this one, because we were supposed to do this on another show a long time ago and it never happened. So, I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be hot debates. But, because I don't care what anyone says, to make a theme song for a TV show, you need to have fucking talent to make it good. So, but come back then, check us out for everything that's coming. Until then, everybody, have a good one.
Thank you.